Good evening, happy stampers. Welcome to my happy stamping studio. My name is Judi Anderson, and I'm an independent demonstrator here in the United States. And I would love to welcome all of you that are watching live or on a replay. Make sure you say hi. I am streaming on StreamYard tonight. So, in order for me to see your comments, you will need to give StreamYard permission to post your comment so I can see it. I am just checking my phone now to make sure I am on live. I need to turn it down. I will see some comments. Last night or yesterday afternoon, I was on, and I did see quite a few comments come up, both on my computer. I only saw a few come up on my phone. So if you're watching on YouTube, I would love to welcome you also. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you know when I come on live, and make sure you click notifications. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you like my page and click that you want to get notifications on Facebook also. Now, some of you have been telling me that you don't see when I come on live. Well, you do need to either like, share, and comment on my lives and on my posts in order to keep seeing them. Unfortunately, the algorithms with Facebook are crazy, and that if you don't, push the like button or the heart or share the videos or my posts, they think that you're not interested in what I'm bringing you anymore. So you stop receiving notifications. So that's just the heads up on that. So tonight I am bringing you a technique. We're going to do two cards because I wanted to show you two different ways to using this technique. And it is a tearing technique. We all know how to tear paper. But I am going to be using our masking sheets tonight. And I have a few tips for you that I have learned along the way using them recently. So please say hello, let me know you're watching, and we're going to get started. I'm going to flip you around. There we go. So, got the same whole view. So the first one, I am using 4 by 5 1/4 pieces of basic white. And I hope you guys were able to watch my Back to the Basics last night that I brought everybody. It's something that you have requested, and I am moving this down just a tad bit. Here we go. And we talked about how to cut your paper efficiently, and I gave you some different ideas and tips last night. So like I said, we are using our masking sheets. These come in, what size are they? 5 by 7, I believe. Yes, 5 by 7 sheets. So they can cover your whole paper. So we're actually, this is 5 1/4. So I'm going to have to cut this lengthwise or tear it lengthwise. What I am going to do is I am actually going to cut this in half. And I explained last night that several of you have asked me to do more cutting on screen. So that is what I'm doing. So we're going to use this whole sheet here. Now I do want it tore. So I am going to tear this. And I do want it with a jagged edge. There we go. Okay, and I want to tear it wide enough so that my hello there fits in the inside. So I'm just going to hold it up there, and I'm going to make it at least that wide, which is, about 1.25 inches. And I'm going to tear another strip off. Okay, and we're going to just tear that right down the center there. Now I'm going to have a piece left over that I can use on another card. So we have that piece. With this, the masking just peels right off, and this is adhesive. Now, this is tip number 1. Okay, I have a heavy hand a lot of times, and even with my Post-it notes, they have a tendency of sticking to my paper. So what I found is if I take an embossing buddy, now we do not have this in our annual catalog, but I am going to tell you that there's one coming up in the next mini. So be on the lookout for that. So if you don't have one of these, just know that we will have them in the next mini catalog. So I'm not going to spill the beans on everything, but you will be able to get that. So I am rubbing my paper just so we get some of this little bit of the talc on there. So when I stick this down, I do not tear my paper. Now I do want this to go down the center. So I am lining my paper up on my graph paper, and this main line from the center is the center of my card. I'm also going to center this left to right. Okay, you don't have to do this, but I just find that it helps me in eyeing my design. Okay, now this, like I said, it is a little bit longer than the 5 1/4 because I did cut a piece off, and I just want to lay that right down the center and just press that down. Okay, so now we are going to use some of our stamps. And we are going to stamp this starting with the largest image going to the smaller image. And I am going to be using this image here, and this image here. So let's pull those out. I'm going to be using this one here. I don't think that that's going to be too big. This one here, and I'm using this image as a floral. I put that on the wrong block. Okay, so let's get that one, and I said we would be using this one here. Okay, so my color palette tonight, like I said, I'm going to line these up. So we're going to start with this one, go to this one, and then this one. My color palette is, I want to use the Mossy Meadow for the larger image. I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz for the smallest image, and my floral image is going to be Blushing Bride. My card base is Blushing Bride, so that is where I got that color combination at. So we are going to take our Pear Pizzazz, and you can put these on however you want, but remember you're going to have other images. I don't want this smack dab in the center, and we don't have to have the full image, you guys. So I am going to go ahead and put this one there, stamp. Aren't those beautiful? I do know that I want 3 of these on here. Oh my gosh, okay. I slid that. So we are going to peel this off and go to the other side. Okay, we aren't even 5 minutes into the video, and Judi has an opportunity already. So let's flip this over. Let me get my embossing buddy. I'm going to put that down there so that it doesn't stick. Now it'll be less sticky anyways, just because I already had it on some of the embossing buddy. So let's start this over again. We're going to just put this right here and put it down. Okay, here we go again. We'll start with this one, and I'm going to do this one a little bit lower, this one a little bit higher. I moved it deciding that I wasn't going to do it so high, and this one partly on. Now on the bottom, I'm only going to put 2. Okay, I'm going to put them pretty far out. So we're only putting 2. And can anybody tell me and guess why I'm only doing 2 on the bottom? Let me know if you can guess. Okay, I just had my chamois here. Yeah, I've got 4 chamois here. Find the wet one, right? I'm going to clean my stamp off. Just like that. Now I'm going to go to my floral. And once again, I'm going to stamp it all in Blushing Bride. We're making this simple. Okay, so with our Blushing Bride, we are going to do 2 on the top. And I'm going to put those up a little bit. Just like that. So we're kind of making a swag type. I guess you'd say, floral images. This one I'm going to go in a little bit. So I'm doing 3 on the bottom of this, and this one we'll do a little bit there. Okay, so we're creating some interest on our card, and okay, I threw my Stampin' Chamois way off to the side. Oh my gosh, we're doing a patterned interest along our card. So now the Pear Pizzazz and our smaller image. Now we can fill in with this image. So I am going to be doing some down, lower. Oh, my pad is a little dry. So I'm going to be adding some of those along the base. So I'm basically filling in the open areas here. And I can do them either way, back and forth. Okay, just filling that in. Now, we're not going to see any of this down here. I am going to put a few of these. I'm going to clean my stamp off, okay, because I don't want the full stem. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink up my stamp to that bottom leaf, okay? And I'm going to stick one up here, and that is how I'm going to stamp all of these. I'm going to stamp this one up here, like that. Oops, I got that stem a little bit. Just wipe it off with my finger. Let's put that one there. This one in here. Now, I'm not doing it in the air. I do want this to seem like it's coming out of the others. I think that that's good. Okay, so now I am going to remove my mask and look what this looks like. Okay, a lot of times we do this with a straight edge, but I like the masking, and that's why or not the masking, but the tore edge, it's not even here, okay? I'm going to put this back on. I'm going to line up my images. I just wanted to show you that. Now, what I want to do is I want to take my Blushing Bride ink pad, and I am going to take a blending brush. And I have a pink. Okay, this looks pink enough. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit of ink here. Okay, now I'm going to go along that edge, and I am just going to add a blushing of pink right along that edge. And it is not going to look like there's much color on there until I lift it. Okay, and you will see, you can see all the pink here. Making sure I only go off that edge just a tidbit, just a little bit. And this is why I used the embossing buddy on there. You could also stick this to like your clothing, and look at that. Now see how that brings out that tore edge even more so? Isn't that cool? I just love that technique. Okay, so we're going to use the hello there, like I said, and I am actually going to stamp it using basic gray. Yeah, Jude's still on that pink and gray, but you could use Memento Black if you wanted, but I like the gray when I don't want it so, let's see how straight that is. Oh, look at it, I even stamped it straight there. Oh, you know what? I may want something a little bit bigger. Hang on a second. Okay, I didn't think that out very much. So I am going to, I think these will work. Let me see. I have it thinking of you. So we will use that. And I think that that will still, yes, that will still fit in there. So awesome. I didn't think that space would look so big. Now we could also use, if you didn't have the basic gray, just want to see how that stamps. Okay. You could use the mossy meadow for your words. I'm going to do the thinking of you right there, like that. And look at that. Okay. So close that up. Move my stamps to the side here, and let's put this card together. So I have my card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Just a very basic card base. Oh, I just opened the Stampin' Seal. And when I opened it, I noticed it's my last one, so I am going to be placing an order. Can't run out of adhesive. Okay, and we're just going to stick this right on here, just like that. And look how gorgeous that is. It's not a straight line. It is crooked because of the tearing. So that is the first way to do it. You're ready for the second way? I am just hoping that this half a piece, I think it will be big enough. Okay, so I'm going to use this entire piece again. And I just want a part of this, and I want to mask it off, and I do want the tearing, and I want it in an arch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start tearing from, let me see which way is, okay, sticky's that way. So we're going to tear from up here, and just our goal, oh, I don't know how good of a goal this is. I'm hoping, I think my image will be fine and my words will be fine. That's what I'm worried about, is my words. I'm looking here. I want to get to this outside edge as much as possible. Okay, so I don't want that straight edge there. So let's tear that a little bit more. There we go. Okay, once again, I am going to use my embossing buddy on here. Now, if you find, now I'm going to be doing a lot of rubbing on this one. So I am actually going to take my embossing buddy and just put a little bit on here. And just take some of that tackiness. Like I said, I could take it and put it on my clothes. It's just because of the technique I'm using, and I know I'm going to be rubbing. So I want to line this up on the side here. I might only go that tall. Just like that. Now, I could make this wider. I could go like this. I just have to be careful when I am using my blending brushes that I do not go into that area. And I think I am going to make it wider. Okay, so that is stuck on there. It's not going anywhere. I made it not quite tacky enough up there, but it'll do. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive to hold that like that. Okay, so I am going to make a sky. You guys know I love doing backgrounds with my blending brushes, and I love skies. Now, I wanted to do a little bit different this time. I am actually going to be using Flirty Flamingo, Coastal Cabana, and Orchid Oasis. Okay, so I'm going to make a sky. We will be using the Paradise Palm stamp set, and I am going to use this little bit of a strip here because I do want to make a little bit of horizon. This time I'm just sticking it on my clothes just a little bit. I want to make a horizon here. So we're going to do that. That looks pretty straight to me. So I'm going to grab my Paradise Palms, and I am going to grab my sun. And I am going to stamp the sun in Daffodil Delight. And we're only going to see a little bit of the sun. The sun is setting. Okay, right there. Now I might want to go a little bit deeper. There we go. Okay. So now this is going to be the sky up here. So closer to the sun, we're going to have a little bit of yellow, right? From that sun radiating out. So we are going to grab our yellow blending brush. So I should have done tearing and blending tonight, right? On my description. And I am just going to do a light circle. Now you will notice when I do this, it is, let me, hang on. I just noticed I have quite a bit of, I still have a shadow. Let me move all of this over here so I don't have that as much of a shadow. Oh, I'm still getting a shadow. So I'm just doing a light yellow. Okay, and I'm just doing a circular motion. And when this is pulled up, you will see that it is a lot more yellow than you think. Okay, next I'm going to go to my Flirty Flamingo. And grab my pink blending brush. Let's pick some ink. And don't forget, when we get that ink in this brush, we go in both directions, right? Okay, so we want this to kind of radiate out from the sun and along the top. So we can start forming our sky. And I'm going to do a little bit of pink up here too, peeking through. Okay. Next color is going to be my Coastal Cabana. Now, I chose Coastal Cabana because that's my card base color. I could have picked any of these colors. I could have done a balmy blue base. Okay, we're going to go right here and we're going to bring that blue in lightly. And I am going all the way up with it. Okay, and I do this in layers once again. Now, I was going to do like 3 or 4 different ideas using tearing tonight, but you guys like it when I make cards. And I am bringing the blue down into the pink and the yellow. So we're going to have a little bit of blue peeking through. You know, the sunlight is catching those clouds. And I've got to be careful not to go in this area here. Okay. Okay, keeping my blending brushes out. Okay, now we're going to the Orchid Oasis. Okay, when you guys use the Orchid Oasis, it is a deeper color. Okay, look at that. Look how deep it is. So I'm going to get that color on my brush, working it in, and I'm going to wipe some of it off here. And then I am going to work it into the top of my card first and working down. Okay, look how gorgeous that is. And I am going over all of what I just did. Okay, it is amazing the different looks that you can get by blending these colors. I want some of that along that edge a little bit more. Okay, now I'm going to want a little bit more of the Daffodil Delight at the bottom. So I'm going to pull in some more of that. And you know, don't rush this process when you guys do it. Okay, you can work some yellows up here a little bit, peeking through the sky. Okay, so we have that. And I didn't keep the other half. Or did I here? Ooh. Yes, it's this way. I need that other half. I almost forgot. Okay, so we're going to peel this up. And when we peel this up, look. It's like peeking to the side. And this side is white. But I'm going to peel this up. I am going to place this back down. I just wanted to show you that. Okay. And you know what? At the bottom here, I want it the tearing a little bit more. Oh, definite. I like when I have a lot of gouges in my paper, as I call it. I'm going to line this up. See, this really goes up here, but I kind of peek that in. So I want to bring that down. Well, you know what? Actually, I can put that flat there. So I want to take that straight edge and I'm going to put it the opposite way. Okay. I am leaving this entire space over here white. I'm going to be coloring here. So on this side, I'm going to make the sand. Okay, so we're using Sahara sand, which is a brown. It's a brown gray. I call Sahara sand the khaki of our colors. Good evening, Janet. How are you this evening? And Patsy, you're here too. Hello. Okay, so I am going to just do a little bit of coloring here. And you'll notice I didn't put any water, right? And that's okay. We have the sand. And we are going to do a little bit of a hill. So this is our sand. And look at that. So look how I have opened up. And you're not going to see that little bit of a blip there. So I'm going to go into my stamp set. And we have this, it can be water. It can be sand. I am making it sand. And what I want to do, I don't want a big difference here. So watch this. I'm going to stamp off. Make sure that's, yep. Okay, so I'm stamping off. So I'm going to be stamping second generation, and I want to line this up so that it goes right about where that sun is. Okay, so that is going to look like, oh my gosh, I got a line there. A sand hill. We're going to put 2 sand hills. Judy really goofed that one up. I am going to move it over, so I'm going to mask again. Let me find that Tor mask. We are going to mask that. I want to stamp over here more. So I want to cover this up because I do not want to goober that up. You know what? If nothing else, you guys do learn a lot of opportunities with me and how to fix them. Okay, and that line is okay. I will show you how to fix that. So we've got that coming out. Awesome. I love that look. We're going to put something there. Okay, so we have the sun setting, a beautiful sky. We've got our land here. But we need more, right? We need a palm tree. So we are, and this is where I said that don't worry. So we are going to do a palm tree right here. And Judy needs to be careful when she stamps this because she does not want any more opportunities tonight. So I did that because I rocked. No rocking and rolling tonight. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up. And I am getting down and I'm looking at this edge. And we are going to, I want to go from onto there. Awesome. And see how that's peeking out there? And that's a-okay. It's kind of what I wanted. We're going to put this one up a little bit. Put this one up here so it goes way up here. Now we're going to get the palms. And I think we're going to use that one there and this one here. Now my palm trees I like to do in the garden green. And you see that ripped edge? It's still all peeking out. And that's peeking, and that's okay. This is kind of oh, I don't want to say collage, but that is the look I'm going for. So let's do this palm tree here. Okay, and we still get that tore edge there. I'm going to flip my stamps. We're going to do the smaller one in the back. Let's get that one right there. And see, that sun is still just peeking. And, you know, we have a beach scene, but we don't have the beach. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. Let me close up all of my things. And you know what? And I'm looking here and thinking, okay, I have Coastal Cabana, and I did use Coastal Cabana. I am thinking I may want to use the Orchid Opulence. Or not Orchid, Orchid Oasis. Let's see. We could go with that. Oh, I like that a lot better. So we're going to scrap the Coastal Cabana tonight. Let's get our hard base cut and scored. Okay, now I want to put a verse here. And since I am using the Orchid Oasis, now Orchid Opulence is an old color that we used to carry. And when we have like orchids and some of our pinks or some of our greens, I'll use the old names instead. So I think I'm going to use Hope You Find a Little Paradise Wherever You May Be, which is this one right here. Let's get that one out. And let's get our Orchid Opulence. And we are going to put that right down here in this corner. Just like that. Awesome! I get so excited. Okay, now I'm looking here. I am going to add some grasses along the bottom. And the reason being is I do want to bring it in here a little bit. And the grasses we will do, I want to do them a little bit darker. I think I'm going to go with Old Olive with the grasses. I want a different green than the garden green, but I do want to pull it into that white space just a little bit so that this looks like it was not an opportunity. But there we go. So I could have, if I had some bigger words, I could have done a white space just for the words. And I do this actually a lot with designer series paper. I will cut the designer series paper 1/4 inch smaller, and I will tear it, and then that's where my words go. And then I just have the designer series paper. So that is another option. I'm going to fold this in half. Put this on here. And I did not stamp the inside of the cards today. Let's get this on there and look at that. Now, if we had used Daffodil Delight as our card base, that would have really popped that yellow out. But see how your sky's got touches of yellows and pinks in there? But we were concentrating on this technique here. We weren't concentrating on the blending tonight, but it's a little bonus for you. And then here is the other one. And we tore that, and we used our masking. Oh my gosh, Chris, hello, you caught me live. Closer to you can only see half of the card. I can't position it closer to me. I can raise it. There you go. I can raise it, but I wanted to go close so you could see what I was doing. So look at that. Isn't it awesome? I just love that look because it's almost like it's a scene and somebody tore part of the scene out, right? Okay, we didn't want that person in the picture, so we ripped it out. Oh my gosh. Oh dear. And then the thinking of you card where we masked and just left this and then did the sides there. So that is the masking tonight. Hey Becky. It's been a long time since I did any paper tearing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I find that I'm going to flip you guys around while I talk to you and I look at the camera. Okay. Um, so yeah, it's been a long time since I've done paper tearing, and I was going through some old cards, just decluttering and stuff. And it was like, oh my gosh, I have not done paper tearing in forever. So, you know what? That's the technique I'm going to do Thursday. So that's why I did it tonight. So, I love bringing old back into the new, right? And, a lot of times when did paper tearing, we didn't do a scene like that, because we didn't do, we had the sponges and the daubers, and we couldn't get the same effects we do with our blending brushes. So I think it's a fun technique to update to the latest trends and the latest looks, some old techniques. So I will be bringing you guys some old techniques again. And so you don't know which is your favorite. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. You know what, you guys? I want you to comment which one is your favorite. Okay? And you can't say both. That's not fair. And what I will do is I will pull a name from those that comment tonight and on replay. I will pull a name on Monday when I come on live Monday, and I will let you know who the winners are. And then I will private message you and to get your address, and I will send these cards to you so you can have them and see exactly what I did and see them in person, because it's always better when you see the cards in person, right? So I want to thank you guys again for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch me and join me. And Chris has already got the tropical card, she says. Um, so once again, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule and joining me this evening. I am always enjoy being with you guys. So until we meet again, you guys, happy stamping.